Hi, my name is Skip. I'm here for two reasons. Number one, I want to help you become a better leader, and number two, I want to help you help others. So I'm dyslexic, and one of the things I discussed in a previous episode was my bad handwriting, and how it's common for dyslexics to have bad handwriting, or penmanship. And so this manifests itself in a couple different ways. So one of the ways it can manifest itself is that someone with dyslexia might spell words backwards. So this is work. They might end up spelling it like that. And they don't realize it in the moment that they've spelled it wrong, especially if they're doing it quickly. But later, if they look at it, they'll be like, oh, I spelled that wrong. They know how to spell work, so they rewrite it. Another way is word order. So you might write, he ran fast, and the dyslexic might write, fast ran he. And they kind of end up sounding sort of like Yoda in a way. Another common thing is to get letters backwards. So the classic one is B and D because they look so similar and they have similar b, d sounds, so that dyslexics will sometimes flip those around. So my handwriting, dyslexic handwriting, manifested itself in terms of that I would end up missing words. So instead of writing he ran fast, I would write he fast and keep writing. And just completely miss the word. And if you said, Skip, can you read that again? I'd say, yeah, he ran fast. And if you ask, I wrote it down correctly. I'm seeing it in my brain correctly. But what I actually wrote is incorrect. There is no ran. Now, the only way I found this was if there was a break in my thought. If I took a break from the writing and came back to it, then I'd be like, oh, he fast. Like if I looked at it the next day, I'd be like, oh, I wrote that wrong. This also would happen on multiple choice tests. I would mark A instead of B. I would circle B as the answer, but I'd mark A. So what does the teacher do, or what does the other student correcting my paper do? They mark it wrong, even though it's right. And even though I know the answer. So I developed this method to compensate for this, and that was taking a break. So I would do the test, whatever test it was, at whatever speed I wanted. I'd just get it done. Typically, I would get it done before most people in my class. Then I would take a break. I would stop taking the test. I'd set it down, I'd flip it over and doodle, write on a scratch piece of paper. I would start daydreaming. I would think about music. I'd think about the cute girls in my class. I would think about anything to break my train of thought. And I would give myself a couple minutes to do so, just paying attention on the clock. Just give myself a couple minutes, 5 minutes to do something completely different, not thinking about the test. Then I would go back to the test and correct it, and I would basically go through every single question very quickly to make sure that I had done it properly. And I would do that out of sequence too. So if the test was pages 1 through 4, I might do 2, 4, then page 1, then page 3, because breaking it up allowed my brain to really reanalyze and to see like, oh, you wrote he ran, or you marked B instead of A. So that's how I compensated for it. So I recommend for other dyslexics that they do the same thing. And another interesting thing I did, and this was a superstition that my high school teachers caught up on, or a superstition my high school teachers caught up on, and I just don't think they realized that it was a compensator, is that I never passed in an assignment first, ever. Because whenever I passed it in first, it meant that I had gone too quick and I hadn't corrected. So I would always take breaks and make sure that I was like the third or fourth person to pass in a test. And no one figured out that that's what I was just waiting because I would be working and working. But people came to think that I had some kind of superstitious, like magic that was enabling me to get B's on tests and papers and whatnot. I don't know how, but anyway. For you, if you're dyslexic or if you have a learning disability, you need to figure out these little tricks. And sometimes it means breaking the train of thought, because if you just keep going, the dyslexic would notice he ran fast versus fast ran he. Or they would notice W-R-O-K versus W-O-R-K. But only if their train of thought is broken and they're allowed their mind to really see it. So that's the compensator I came up for bad handwriting. Anyway, my name is Skip. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and go live the wheel.